You ready?
No.
Oh, too bad. Uh, okay. So, we begin your character story within the trees of the Mear's Forest, a bit northeast, northeast of Wildedusk. You've currently been back home for a few months, been picking back up on your training with your mother, and so far the day's gone on pretty much as routinely as when you as it when as before you first left. Things in the grotto are pretty consistent. More so a thing of habit than of spontaneity.
Spontaneous.
Wait, no, spontaneous is an adjective.
No. I'm just trying to remember how to say it.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, um, yeah, the noun for spontaneous. But yeah, you're within the grotto. Your training just finished up with your mother. You're kind of just going about your day. Obviously, you're surrounded by people that you've known all your life. Um, no real new faces. However, you do see that your dad's kind of home for like the quote unquote weekend, taking a break from his meadery just to visit his family back home.
Okay.
If you want to interact with them, that's chill. If not,
I'm trying to think.
all right.
I think. Uh, I think he's gonna go wander the forest like he would do.
All right. You head
Has
into the depths of the. Mhm.
will continue to do.
What?
Nothing.
All right. You wander into the depths of the Mirror's Forest. This forest that you've called home, all your life. Uh, it's peaceful, it's calm, not much going on. In fact, in the midst of the spring season, you see that a lot of flowers bloom, a lot of berries. The trees are greener, the grass is taller. And all in all, it's just quite calm, lovely. You hear the birds chirping. You hear some small critters uh, scuttering about. Just generally calm and peaceful. It's about midday.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything you particular you're doing, you're looking for.
I think right now it's kind of just aimless wandering. Just kind of going for the sake of going.
Fair enough. As you wander, the animals very familiar with yours and the grotto's presence, within the Mirror's forest. They're not afraid of you. Like even as you kind of wander by, they don't skitter away. They don't make a scene seeing a humanoid presence within their territory. In fact, as you go, a few birds land on your head, a squirrel runs up your back, but they kind of treat you as part of the terrain. They don't see you as an outsider at all.
Hmm. Is there any that come up to him,
Like in particular, like anyone that catches your eye.
or just like any of them that come to him specifically?
As you're wandering, you do kind of hear light footsteps, not far behind you, but kind of behind and to the right of you. You'd recognize the sound very easily. You do turn around to see a small foal, recently born of this season. Um, and behind it, you do see its mother, just wary as any mother would be, but not of you necessarily. Just kind of on the lookout for any danger. But the foal does come up to you, happily.
Yeah. I'll kind of, I'll kind of bend. You know, people do the like squat down where they just kind of stand on the toes of their feet, but they're like sitting on their heels.
Yeah.
You'll kind of squat down like that and just kind of scratch the foal's head and look around, just being like, "Well, look at you, brand new to these woods."
He,
Yeah,
yeah, the
I
foal just kind
speech
of nuzzles.
it
Mm-hmm.
can't understand me.
All right. You think, okay, okay. I thought you said cat speak with animals.
Speech of the woods. Learn to speak, read, and write Sylvan. In addition, beasts can understand my speech, and I gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions.
Okay. Uh, the deer nuzzles into your hands. Very, I guess, like just kind of welcoming the touch, the gentle touch. You do hear the mother behind it just let out a not concerned noise, but wary. But she does kind of trot around, eventually taking a moment to eat some grass, eat some berries nearby. You take it as a sign that she trusts you with her foal. She knows that when you're around, nothing's probably gonna happen to her child,
Yeah.
to her offspring.
Would I, by chance, like just have like salt?
Salt?
Yeah. Like, would salt be something that would be like a basic provision for like an explorer's pack in your mind?
I wouldn't say part of an explorer's pack, but if you believe there's a reason that Erebus would carry salt around, like at least a little pouch, then I'd say sure.
I'm just thinking, because uh, like a salt lick kind of thing. Like, you know, people put out salt licks, just kind of he keeps some on him.
No, I'll say sure.
Okay, I'll say I have a small salt rock. Oh,
All right.
he'll just hold it out to the hold the lick.
Um, Curiously, the foal will smell the rock and then give it a small lick. Just kind of, it's taking it back for a moment, not really, like, obviously, like, very inexperienced to, like, the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Um, but it eventually does give it eventually just kind of licks it down a bit. Obviously not enough to make a dent, but it does
yeah.
just kind of give it a few licks. Eventually kind of misses the rock and ends up licking your hand.
All right. I think he'll kind of. I don't want to say roughhouse, but just kind of like playfully push the foal a little bit. Like just kind of like when people
Yeah,
play with their dogs, like just messing with it.
yeah. Um, it'll stagger back. It'll kind of do that thing, a lot like dogs do, like just kind of jump side to side before sprinting off a few feet and turning back to look at you. Like very clearly playing.
Yeah. I'll uh I'll throw a little. No, I won't throw anything. I'm gonna kind
I
of like
was gonna say,
do the, like fake out kind of thing that people do, like this, like the like pretend you're gonna run at them and then just but like not actually move.
as you do, like the full sprints away a few more feet, and you see the mom kind of perk up and follow suit after it.
Oh, Someone new, I guess. Guess I better get moving, and then I'll look up to see roughly what time it is.
It's about and also you've been wandering for maybe an hour or two, so probably a bit past midday. We'll say 2 or 3 p.m.
All right, that's still an hour back, so.
Yeah.
And then he'll turn around and head home.
Roll me a survival check, just out of curiosity.
13.
14. Okay. As you wander back, obviously it's the spring season. Everything's in flourish. Flowers are blooming. Most trees are giving fruit. As you walk, you do stumble upon a few small red berries that you do recognize. Um, you do recognize that they're not poisonous. They're not at all toxic. They're just small lemon berries.
All right.
Also, you find 2 bushels with 5 berries total.
Red berry.
11 berries. Leven.
11.
Yep.
Leven.
Yep.
I found 11 berries.
I said 5.
You said
You
five
find two
bushels.
bushels. I said 2 bushels with 5 berries total.
Ah, okay.
Yep. You know that these berries have not invigorating, a kind of refreshing property to them. In mechanics terms, they grant temp HP when just eaten raw. They
All right.
also make for good mead.
What? No.
Um, as you walk back, you actually do encounter this um, very tall and built Goliath woman that you very obviously recognize. She has long black hair, slowly graying from her roots. In fact, she actually has like 2 solid streaks on either side of her head that are woven into her braid with um, gray blue eyes. She has the typical Goliath tattoos covering her body, but as well as um, more floral vine-esque tattoos alongside. This is your mother.
Nothing ever happens to me in the forest, Mom. Other than that one time, nothing's ever happened.
Other than that one time, I found you stumbling into the Feywilds, and despite her rather serious tone, she puts her hand on your head, and she's not all that taller than you, but you do reach like up to her shoulder, so she puts her hand on your head, and just kind of runs her arm until her elbows on it,
Trying to
just kind
call
of
me
leaning on
short.
you. Not trying, you are. And she kind of pats you on the back.
One day.
I think that day has long since passed for both races in your blood. Let's go.
That's not the point. Ugh. Fine.
I do like the fact that man's not all that short, but
No.
what is short in the absence of Goliath? Um,
flies typically can reach up to 8 feet. So.
Yeah. Um, you wander back. You do see the grove. I'd say setting up, but setting up is a bit too strong of a word for what they're doing. They're basically lighting fires, lighting candles, just kind of illuminating the grove for the night to come, since it is about 4 or 5 p.m. Like people are getting started on it since there's a lot to kind of illuminate, but they're not in a rush.
They're getting ready.
Yeah. Um, as you pass by, you see the typical grove. A few animals. You see a tabaxi woman with we'll say um jaguar-esque fur, kind of tending to a small herb garden, um, specialized herbs, medicinal and whatnot. You see a kenku off in the distance, carving a small wooden statuette, and generally all is well in this small grove. Um, Eventually, as you approach your little stead, it's like it's not a hut, but it's like not a cabin. Mhm.
Yeah. Little
A
shack kind of
cabin-esque, yeah.
bungalow.
Um, Bungalow, that's it. As you approach your bungalow, a bit bigger than the rest, given your family standing, you do see your father, this um stout, uh, stout, short dwarf, greet you guys at the door. He has this dark, reddish brown hair, tied, kind of. It's a bit long, but he keeps it tied up, and his beard is kind of a bit scraggly, but well kept, you could say. He kind
Yeah.
of greets you both with open arms.
I'll walk up and kind of give him one of those like side hugs.
He kind of gives a chuckle and says, "You haven't seen me in a week, and that's all you can give me? Come on." And he kind of pulls you into a bear hug.
There's people watching.
What? You too good for your old man?
Sometimes.
Oh, you wouldn't be. He kind of holds his heart dramatically.
Sometimes. Gotta keep you on your toes, you know.
You and your mother always keep me on my toes. And he kind of like he puts a hand on his head, kind of like measuring up to you, and he does like reach under your chin. Like no, like not even under your chin, like a bit, I think like to your collarbone. Like that's as tall as he is.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm asking you how tall is. If you,
Let's say like 5'6".
he wouldn't even be that high on me.
Yeah, like I'm trying to
I'm
think like
6'4", so it'd be part way up my head. It'd be slightly below the collar.
yeah, like slightly, like he's like I would say like up to your collarbone. Like maybe like up to your sternum, I'm gonna say.
Gonna kind of look down and gently pat his dad on the head and be like, I passed that a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. And he kind of he waves your hand off.
What? Now you're too good for me? Or...
Ah, sometimes I wish, but I could never be. Come on,
No,
dinner's ready.
I know I'm your favorite.
Goodbye. Ah, yes, because you have a lot of competition between the squirrels and the birds.
Some of them give pretty good conversation.
Not wrong. I will say that new foal is rather cute. Careful now. Might take your spot.
Fuck's that supposed to be?
He gives a chuckle and a shrug as he heads into to like the little area you designated the dining room.
Yeah. I'll follow.
On the small table, it's um in my mind, you guys don't really have chairs. It's just kind of has like comfortable pillows, um I guess like Japanese-esque, like low tables, uh, little pillow on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
More
quaint.
seating spots, not actual
Yeah,
furniture.
exactly. Um, on the table there is a variety of it's a small amount, like it's enough for your family. Like there's not an exorbitant amount of food, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
variety. You do have a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits. You have a decent assortment of meats. You assume small game, maybe a bit, maybe um like a chicken, like
Yeah.
rabbit chicken, so on and so forth. And it's just kind of like all cooked between grilled and smoked.
Mm.
And obviously, you do see a bit of meat between between the food.
Erebus
I'm
is
just
gonna reach
mhm.
for the meat and be like, "What's the special occasion? There's quite the variety tonight."
Well, I wouldn't say occasion. And he kind of picks up his own glass of mead as your mother sits down next to you. He swirls it around a bit. He smells it, and as he puts it up to his lips, he says, well, Barry, by the way, and he takes a sip. I wanted to ask a favor of you, and I've obviously already spoken to your mother about it. Mm. And you see that your mother kind of gives a stern look, like she's not complete, like
She's not
she's
happy about
aware, yeah, like not like she's aware of it. She's not unhappy, but it's not like what she'd prefer.
it.
I was wondering if you'd do me a little favor.
Where am I gonna have to go?
He gives out a hearty laugh. Uh, a few places actually. I need you to kind of restock in a few places, if you will. I know you've also it's been a few months since you got back, but I don't think I haven't seen how you lose yourself looking to the horizon. He just chuckles a bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And of course you don't.
Pointedly looks at his mom.
She just gives a small huff. Uh, eating the rabbit, but still looking intently at your father. Three main stops. Rune's Guard, Winter's Grasp, and Winter's Reach and Snow Grasp. Those are the actually four. I did get a letter recently. Rune's Guard, Winter's Reach, Snow Grasp, and Silvervale.
Ugh, I'll be away for so long. It'll be so exciting, Mom. People will
Yeah,
get to see the great Lu- Luval. She'll be in so much disarray the entire time.
yeah. And she kind of tussles her hair a bit.
I'll just
Uh,
playfully punch her in the shoulder.
know that this is a way of killing two birds with one stone. Why should he spend money on paying someone to go there when he could just send you for free? He, he gives a small snicker.
And I get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. away from our quaint little home where nothing ever goes wrong and you're completely safe and next in line. Oh, the horrors. And she takes a
Don't
sip of her
remind
mead.
me. Gotta see something.
Like, you don't see enough here?
I mean, I've seen the same deer so many times I can identify them, and I've given them all different names.
She kind of goes to her rebuttal, but then kind of gives a shrug of like, fair point.
I know more animals than people.
To be fair, some of those animals are people.
I
But
meant
I,
like the creatures of the forest, but yeah.
but I digress. As much as I hate to admit it, and she kind of gives your father a stare, and he shrinks away from it, but not like in a scared way, just kind of like a like like it's very clear that this is a point of contention for both of them. Um, like he still agrees that you should see the world, but at the same time does not want to go against his wife's word. But he gives a shrug. Um, I do agree that to a certain degree, outside experience will help you build your own way of leading or something or other. Experience.
I mean, that's how you did it.
Yes, but I also know it can be rather grueling. And I already know you're tough. Obviously,
Little,
you have my
tr-
blood.
a little trek into the world has shown me that I'm some naive boy. You know, maybe it's what does me good.
She kind of thinks for a moment. Just don't get yourself killed. That's all I'll ask.
It's a pretty hard task to kill a mountain eye.
Well, not when that mountain eye has a habit of occasionally, always searching for fey crossings.
And I always come back alive.
So far.
100%'s 100%.
Um, you can see that your mother's getting a bit annoyed. So seeing that, your father just kind of steps in and says, "Okay, so I'm taking that as a yes."
Yeah, yeah, I'll do it.
Excellent. There will be a few taverns waiting for you as you head along. Um, obviously, feel free to use whatever route you like, be it the main road, uh, which is my preferred way, because despite living here, I still get lost. Or the woods, whichever you prefer. I know you have your sense of direction also, or I'll sort it out.
Yep. Don't worry, Mom. I won't get lost. I'll make sure I send you a letter once in a while, letting you know I'm not in a ditch somewhere. Unless I'm writing it from a ditch.
Uh, mm, I'm guessing that's all. That's the best I'm gonna get.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. let's just lay this topic to rest. I'm guessing, and he kind of turns to your father. Um, you'd rather him head sooner rather than later, and he kind of gives a shrug. Whatever's best for business. He gives you a wink.
I can wait till the morning.
That's the spirit, and he pats you on the back. Um, with that, your dinner, like from that point, your family dinner kind of it's a bit tense for a bit, but after like a few minutes, the three of you um kind of break the tension, just having idle family banter, and by the end of it, um, while this decision has been made, there's no real tension to it. Obviously, your mother would like you to stay at the Grove, but she knows that once both you and your father have set your mind on something, there's no real moving you.
I
Yeah. Anything you'd like to do before the night, before you turn in?
don't think so.
Alright, so I'm gonna say you go into your room. Point, you've got a nice, is it called a futon? Like the little, like the plit, like the little, not really a mattress, but like the thin bed kind of thing.
No, futons are like the couch ones.
Yeah, right. What's it called?
Like they just call them a futon mattress. Yeah,
Yeah, you
in
have,
Japan.
yeah, yeah. You have a like I guess the fantasy equivalent, um, uh, a photon. Um, and your room is just kind of quaint. I don't know. Would you keep much stuff in your room? Like, how would how would Erebus have his I guess the room he's lived in all his life set up?
It wouldn't really be much. It'd kind of just be the bed and then the stuff he carried on a day-to-day basis.
Fair enough. Um, then yeah, you kind of settle into bed. There is a small window on the opposite side, and you do see the night sky through your window. Um, stars in the sky sparkling, and you occasionally see, um, we'll say, I don't know, an owl flying by. Um, and with that, you turn in to the sound of crackling fire and crickets. Crackling fire being lanterns, not like the fucking forest is burning down.
Yeah.
Um, and you drift off into sleep. And the following morning, you do see your father has kind of tied together four barrels in a way that won't be bothersome to walk with. It's still heavy because obviously it's mead, but it won't get in your way. He's kind of strapped it on. He's strapped them together and strapped them on your backpack, so you can still access your backpack, but they won't
Mhm.
fall off all that easily.
All right.
Oh, there he is. You ready?
You're up early.
Well, I gotta be. Also, your mother woke me up.
I was hoping I could sneak up before you guys woke up.
No, unfortunately not. I don't believe your mother actually slept. And you hear kind of coming into the room. I did, just not as well as I normally would. Uh, and you see she has like a decently sized pouch with her. Um, and like before you put your backpack on, she hands over the pouch, and you see that inside it has a bunch of preserved food, some cured meats, dried fruits and vegetables, um, some hardtack and whatnot. And we will say that these are rations. How many rations do you have on you?
And
10? Okay.
yeah,
Well, yeah. We'll say she gives you. I guess it's a decent sized pouch. We'll say she gives you another 30 rations.
e-
I maybe keep. I mean, keep. I am gonna be asking you to keep track of those, which is why I'm giving you a lot.
yeah, that's a lot of weight of rations, so brings my weight up to
We will
130.
say that the way of rations won't count.
Okay, I'll just get rid of their weight then.
Yep. Um. It just feel, and your mother just she kind of leans down to look you in the eye. It feels like you just came back yesterday, but I suppose you are grown and you can make your own choices. Yada yada.
Yep,
And she puts her hands on her shoulders, and you do see her eyes kind of soften. Just be safe.
I will, and I'm sure I'll be back before you know it.
She kind of she holds her face. Just looking your face over, I guess studying you, taking in like the image of your face, before you go off for gods know how long, before she gives you a soft kiss on your forehead. Um, she lets go of you, stands back up, and pats you on the back. And your father, half struggling, drags your pack, with these 4 barrels of meat tied onto it, and kind of gives
Oh,
you one of the straps. What was that?
I said he'd walk over and pick it up, not make him
Okay.
struggle away with it.
Ah, thank you. Um, now, do be safe. Uh, Preferably don't break those barrels. Uh,
I'll try not to.
okay. And just do be safe. Be safe. And when you get to Silvervale, do say hi to what's her name? Just say hi to Poppy. She can be a real sweetheart, and it's been a while since we've caught up. And you kind of see your mother gonna give a um kind of give him the stink eye, and he just laughs.
All right. Is there any other messages I need to give anybody other than a fuck ton of booze?
And he kind of thinks for a moment. Hmm. Give me a second. Tell Kelvin and tell Kelvin and what's the town's name? Tell Kelvin and Snowgrass that he still owes me 10 gold. He just pats your arm.
Got it.
Um, they walk you to the outskirts of what would be the Rose territory, and they just see you off. They kind of bid you farewell, bid you safe travels before they, I guess, let you go the off into the open plains, into the world.
I'm free. Master skin will be a shock. Probably use a free.
All right. Now, which way would you take to Runesguard, your first stop?
Did we already go over this?
Hmm?
Thought we went over this already. No, we didn't.
He went over your first trip.
I think he'd just go through the mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll say it takes you about well, a bit of time because you are traversing the valley between the mountains. We'll say it takes you about 18 days to get to Runesguard. You are very familiar with the you're very familiar with the area directly near the grove. You are a bit less familiar with the area stretching beyond the territory. Um, these valleys, while not completely unknown to you, have only been traversed by you and your mother maybe like 2 or 3 times. But given your natural affinity, you do manage to just traverse these areas without much difficulty. The days pass by uneventful. Occasionally, the weather will turn for the worst. Snowing, not snowing. Light showers, the occasional storm. But to Broomguard without much issue. I'm guessing. I'm guessing just hand over one of the crates, one of the barrels, and continue on.
Yeah.
Um, on the road or just cutting
Yeah.
across.
He'll take the road.
Okay, the whole way.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, for each stop you make, for once you stop by Runesguard, the barkeep there will give you I'll say 10 gold for your troubles, and he'll send you back off. It
Yeah.
takes you, yep, it takes you, what was it, 13? It takes you about, we'll say 20 days, to get to Winter's Reach. Here, um, again, the weather starts to get a bit colder, the occasional shower. However, while you reach, Winter's Reach, you do start to feel that Avalon cold seeping in. Um, you do know that the further you head up north, the colder it will get. It may be spring, but the Norwegian mountains do have a habit of just staying cold throughout the entire year.
Yeah. Just give me a second. I'm reading something.
Boy,
I'm gonna. I'm gonna say I used good berry up until this point for rations.
sounds good. Do you get anything to prepare for your traversal to Snowgrasp?
Um. I mean, probably some kind of winter cloak. Like
Cloak?
some kind of
Okay.
big over cloak.
Okay. I'm gonna say that'll run you I'm guessing it's not really could be anything fancy, just kind of something to shield you from the cold.
Yeah, just like a big fur cloak.
Also, that'll run you 3 gold, let's say, given the fur.
Yeah.
How do you proceed to Snowgrasp? They also give you another 10, by the way. Another 10, 10 gold.
Um, from Winter's Reach. It was Runesguard, Winter's Reach, Snowgrasp, Silvervale.
Yep.
I think from Winter's Reach he'll just go straight, like cut left to the like this.
To the road.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That'll be 20 days worth of rations. But um
Yeah, it's just
as I
gonna
said,
keep you there.
yep. Okay. Um as you peel off of Winter's Reach, you do kind of fall back into a more pleasant weather pattern as you slowly drift back into the plains biome. You do kind of find yourself in a somewhat familiar forest. You have traversed here once or twice before. Um, However, while they're somewhat familiar, they're not entirely of like you don't exactly know like the whole ongoings of this particular forest.
Yeah.
Um, as you walk through these trees, you hear different songbirds. You hear the skittering of little critters who actually do run at your presence. You do catch a deer or two just kind of perking up at your presence and then dashing off.
Yeah.
And as you continue, you hear a flock of birds. Um, sh- I'm not sure if shouting is the right word, but like just kind of chirping loudly, and then the flutter of wings as a large flock just flies overhead. Um,
Yeah. Bird crush.
yep, they flutter overhead, just kind of um, I guess I want to say like the left of where you're going. And as they do, you actually roll me a perception check real quick.
Can I use my passive?
Oh, what's your passive?
16.
All right. Um, as these bird cries kind of like these bird cries and this kind of odd behavior of the birds kind of catches your eye. You hear voices off to the right of where you're walking. Um, you can tell they're talking kind of loudly. Like they're not shouting necessarily, but they're exclaiming, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they're talking with purpose.
Yeah,
Guess I'll go see what's happening.
what's happening? All right. Uh, as you walk, and this I will ask you for a perception check.
19.
Okay. As you walk in the direction of these voices, you start noticing small details. You start noticing the grass get greener, more vibrant, and the smell of pollen and sap like just overwhelms your nostrils. The wind gets more not chilly, but it gets fresher as you traverse between the trees. And you hear the sound of rustling leaves get louder and more present. As you approach, you see a large clearing basically, and you see three figures in front of a large vibrant tree. The trunk is almost this very it's almost unnatural, the color of the trunk of this tree, because some trees tend to be this kind of dull purple. Not purple, but would it be mahogany? No, I forgot the type of wood, but like the kind of purplish kind of
Yeah.
look. Yeah.
I didn't hear anything after you said vibrant tree.
Okay, sorry. The trunk of the tree looks
I need,
oh,
you're here now.
hello. um give me a second. Oh. Do you hear the part about the large clearing? Yes, no.
Yes.
Okay. You
There's a
kind of
very
yeah.
vibrant tree with three figures in front of it in a clearing.
Uh-huh. Um, large tree, yes. Um, and the first thing that catches your eye about it is the fact that the bark of this tree, like the trunk of it, looks to be a very vibrant, almost not vibrant necessarily, but vibrant for the fact that it's a tree, uh, plum color, and the leaves are very vibrant green
What you say the
and
color of the trunk was?
like plum, like a dark purple.
Okay.
Yeah. And off the tree, you see like two of the figures pointing up at it. And for a second, it takes you a moment to kind of gauge what you're looking at. You see a variety of items hanging from it. You see a golden lyre, you see a bronze bell, a small um, doll made of twine. You see a bunch of trinkets on this tree, and
Mm.
all around this area, you just see, I guess, what you would describe as a lot. Like not a lot as in like quantity, but a lot as in, I guess, sensory information.
Yeah. Overwhelming.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. This is basically what you see.
Well, this person doesn't look threatening at all.
Oh, not at all.
No,
Nope.
not a little
But
bit.
yeah, no. But yeah, what you describe as what I overwhelming is what is basically what you would describe the current scenery as. And you see these two people at the front just kind of pointing up at this tree, just kind of, I guess, excited, pointing out these various items in the tree.
Hmm.
Yeah, do you do anything?
Do I know what this is?
Roll me. Hmm. I'll say roll me history or nature.
I wonder what one I'll roll. No, they're both intelligence. Proud about that. 7.
Allow you to roll again. There you go.
19.
Okay,
At 20. Let's go.
let's go
Oh,
over
that
a natural.
has a negative for nature. Let's go.
I'll give you the advantage because you've seen one of these before. You do. It feels familiar more than it looks familiar. Um, you felt this overwhelming sense of just your, I guess your overwhelming sense of just everything before, because something similar to this is your usual treading grounds back home. The vibrant plants, the vibrant atmosphere, the overwhelming senses, and the sounds just seemingly being turned up to 11 are all signs that you've encountered before while in your usual Fate crossing. You're not sure where exactly this little portion begins, but you do know that you've kind of um transcended into a place that's not necessarily there nor here.
Still crossing.
Yeah.
What do they look like they're doing?
These two seem to be two rather young humans. Um, We ignore the token art. Two rather young humans, one girl, one boy. You would say like two humans at oldest late 20s.
Around
And
my
yeah, and the Birch lady, who you easily identify as a Goliath, seems to be more so like maybe in her late 20s, early 30s. She doesn't seem to be you said she looks threatening, but she's not sneaking up on these two at all. Like she seems to kind of be there as a guard.
okay, I'll kind of pop out. Like not. Or first, I'll set down the stuff from his dad,
Yeah.
and then kind of pop out and just be like, "You do you guys know where you are?"
Uh, you immediately see this Goliath woman pull out a great. What did I give her? Did I give her a great sword? I think I gave her a great sword. Let me make sure. Yeah, she pulls out a great sword and just kind of seeming like you've startled her. She kind of points it at you. Um, purely by reaction, not like she's actually gonna fucking stab you. um, oh, uh, the two others just kind of perk up, and you can tell that these two aren't the most equipped for this kind of adventure. They're very green into like this kind of wandering deal. And the Goliath says, "I know where we are, and I'm making sure that nothing happens to my charge here, no matter how curious they may be." As you kind of side eyes them, and you see the boy just kind of shrink at at her and under her gaze, and the girl will pipe up and say, "Uh, we are aware that this is uh Faye-ish," and she kind of thinks for a moment, but um, the crossings are rarely something uh that are considered threatening, I guess. After all, that's why we have our guard here, and she just gestures a hand, and you can tell that this lady's been through the ringer. The Goliath has been through the ringer with these two.
Spoken like someone that doesn't understand the Fae. You're not in the Fae wild yet, no, but the crossings are still dangerous. It goes both ways. They can come out just like you can go in.
Believe me, I've tried speaking with them. However, so long as we keep on guard, nothing should go wrong. After all, we were just leaving, and she kind of turns her gaze to the girl. And um, as you're looking these two over, you can kind of tell that their clothing is a lot more uh fine than one would expect from an adventure. It was a bit higher quality.
Indeed.
And the girl says, "We asked you here for your assistance, um, charting out this area before we went back, and we have not finished charting yet, so we will not leave yet." And the Goliath just kind of rolls her eyes, uh, kind of jabbing her sword into the ground. And you just hear her mumble, "All for the gold, all for the gold."
Well, I guess good luck. I
Yeah,
will.
Yeah.
I'll be heading off now.
Uh, and as you pick up your pack, you do hear footsteps behind you as these two approach the tree. Let me just drag these two. And as they get here, um, you hear a scream, not a bird call, but a scream that catches your eye from the tree. From the tree, you hear rustling, and a very terrifyingly familiar specter comes out as a you see two harpies just fly out from the leaves.
Fucking idiots.
Oh, I
And I'll
switched that
turn
one up
around.
before. And as these two harpies announce their presence, you hear four small come from the roots of the tree,
Small what? Oh,
like shouts and screams.
yeah.
Come from the roots as four goblins run up. And I'm gonna need you once I pull out the initiative. Give me a second.
Roll initiative.
Yay! Go for it. Not bad. I'm so used to Frostnight's initiative. I was expecting like a 3.
It's the exact opposite.
Yay!
Instead of the -3, it's +3.
Okay. Is background going through, by the way? Just want to make sure.
Hmm?
Is background noise going through?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
You also didn't turn the ambience on again, though.
Oh, thanks for that. Okay. Skip. Oh, that's forest. I don't know what's playing, but I'm assuming it's the right music.
I'd assume so.
Uh, ah, shit. Well, that's great. That's a 1.
Fuck kid. What?
What? Three, 2, 3. I don't think it's the right music.
I can tell you, I don't know which one you wanted.
It's fine. I'll put something on a second. That's 3 and 4. The goblins are speedy motherfuckers. Look at them go.
Great, they have
Uh,
0 decks.
yep.
So it's basically me versus the goblins. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
This is
I'll
gonna
just
go
roll
so well.
this. Shit. Fuck off. Where'd it go? There it is. I can't. I cannot roll this initiative. Was. Well,
What are you trying to put in?
I'm trying to roll the girls initiative, so just hmm. um,
Why don't you roll it, period?
No.
Can you add custom through the settings for it?
I'm rolling it as I've rolled every other NPC.
I'll do this. I'll throw this over here. What's its initiative?
It
Score.
is +2.
So
Thank.
like it's +2. Whatever it is, so that's a 9.
9. Uh,
And I'm just gonna leave that in the corner.
thank. So then we'll descending. Let me get some sort of ambiance back up. At least for us. Um, I'll get this one, because why not? Oh, it's what did I queue? Hello? What are you doing?
8 plus 4 plus 2. Me? I'm doing nothing. I'm waiting for you.
All right.
I was preparing what I wanted to do and waiting for you.
Okay. Lara seems to not want to be working, so we'll just we'll roll without ambience. That's fine.
That's fine.
Okay, go on.
Um, this is a 90-foot range. As my action, I'm going to cast Summon Beast.
Wait.
I'm going to summon the land variant. My little plant panther.
Hell yeah.
And then as my action, bonus action. I don't really want to do that one.
Do you mind sending the spell, by the way?
Hmm?
Do you
Oh,
mind
yeah.
sending the spell? Yes, please.
As my bonus action, just to have it up. I'm going to cast. I never made a thing for this, so I'm going to make a character quick if it lets me. I can't. I'm going to use
What do you
this
need?
thing too.
Okay.
I just need another character so that I can have a token.
Okay.
Um, and this has a range of 30 feet.
Casting?
Nothing.
Oh, good.
I'm using my totem,
Gotcha.
and
Mind sending that too?
I'm going to use the
Mm-hmm.
unicorn totem,
Oh, wait.
spirit totem, the unicorn spirit.
Grants protection to those nearby. You and your allies get advantage on all ability checks made to detect creatures.
In the spirit's aura, and in addition, if I cast spells Using a spell slot that restores hit points to any creature inside or outside the aura. Each creature of my choice in the aura also gains hit points equal to my druid level.
Neat. All right.
Ye-
And I'm
Uh,
guessing it is now your
yeah.
little
Then I end
beast.
my turn, and then it goes to my summon beast. And the land one, um, for the purpose of this encounter, did these three count as allies?
Okay.
I'm asking you, do these three
Oh
count
yeah.
as allies?
Yep.
Okay. So my land one has pack tactics.
All right.
Why is it not letting me ping? I can't ping now. That's right. Um, B. Um, E. The land variation gets pack tactics, so I get advantage on this attack roll, and then I use the maul attack on this poor goblin. That's a 22 to hit.
That hits. Yep.
It did not. No roll damage. 10 damage.
Easily this thing. Your plant. Jaguar. You said leopard.
Uh, Panther thingy.
Panther. Uh,
Plant
your
panther.
your plant panther. I was gonna say something. No, not gonna say that. Just absolutely shreds this small goblin before it has a chance to move. So this goblin is just gone,
Correct.
wrecked.
Yeah, that's my turn. And that's
Okay,
that goblin's turn too. Get
it
wrecked.
was that goblin's turn. It's now dead. It's now this goblin's. Um, it is gonna see the fact that its brother was just slain by this weird ass plant panther, and it's gonna pull out a scimitar, let out just a bunch of just like a garbled scream before charging at this girl. Actually, can it reach you? Actually, hip.
Are they smart enough to know it's me?
That is fair. That is fair. So he'll just charge at the girl. Um, and he's gonna do a stab. That
Well,
hit. No, that
one hit.
hits. I have so many fucking tabs open. Give me a second. Let me delete some of these because I am getting lost. Look you back. That's 12 that hits, and he is going to roll damage for 3 damage.
How healthy does she look after that?
Not great, not blooded yet though.
Great.
It is this goblin's turn back here. Oh, wait, did I skip over? Okay, I skipped over a goblin. It's fine. This goblin is also gonna charge at this boy. Gonna do a stab. If I can open the right tab. That's a 13. I believe that hits. It does hit. That does 6 to this poor man. And now the harpy's turn.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
Yep, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have a good time. Um,
Someone's totally not gonna die.
no, not at all. You hear the flapping of wings as this harpy begins singing a melody above you. I am going to need a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
This is yeah, 300 feet, so there's no escaping. This thing's old.
Oh. There's one thing I never checked about this spell.
Not more than do allies also need to make the spell? The save, I mean?
Uh, every very humanoid and giant.
Yeah, right? Okay, let's see.
Yeah, so even allies.
Small humanoid. Okay, so that's that. Okay, that's gonna be one of the goblins fails. Great. Okay. While you roll while you roll for your boyos. Actually, I don't know if
Yeah,
you're well no, you're just a beast, right?
yeah, he's a beast.
Okay,
I was checking first because I never checked to see if it was immune to charmed enemies. But
fair enough.
I sure hope
You
I pass this. Yeah.
you pass and you are immune to the song for the next 24 hours.
Yeah.
Let me put a token on this gobbo. Put this one. We'll roll for this one. That is a pass for this goblin. And for the other, that's also a pass. Two of the goblins pass. Let's see, does this man pass? Okay. So far, man's only gone allies. That's fine. That's fine for you.
Preferable even.
uh, we will roll. That's a pass. And lastly, wisdom save. I just realized like jump gate doesn't actually add the a class's saves anymore, which is something I've noticed. Let's see, so that is that and that.
Doesn't add what? Like classes saves automatically. Would you? I think it's because they want you to use their actual character builder.
Fair enough. Uh, so yeah, basically everyone but this one goblin passes this wisdom save. That's gonna be its turn. All right. Um, it's the girl's turn. She is going to cast a spell as she casts Mage Armor on herself to hope to give herself a bit more bulk. And that's gonna be her turn. Did I get confused on the harpies again? On the mobs. I did. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't remember what
Uh,
the summon water beast is for.
the one up here?
Yeah. I
It's
don't
the
remember
girl.
who she represents. Okay.
Um, this harpy is going to swoop down and try and get a hit on this girl. It is going to roll with its claws. That misses, and it's going to hit with a club. That hits. This
They
girl
get
takes
a
3
club.
damage.
Jesus. I didn't know they got a club.
Yee. Oh, that's the wrong thing for starters. Okay.
Vicious things.
Okay. This harpy, while not grounded, is still kind of flying, like we'll say 2 feet off the ground. Oh, oh, that scared me. Okay.
It was
Um, um, the harpy, while not fully on the ground, is 2 feet off, so she is within smacking range. And then this large Goliath lady, I didn't actually describe her. Gray skin, white eyes, tattoos, and long curly hair in tight braids. She's gonna draw her greatsword and is going to charge at. Okay, go over here and strike at the harpy. And that is going to be... give me 1 sec. Okay, yeah. Just making sure. A 17 to hit, and I believe that does hit. Oh, it does. Okay. I thought these guys had a lot more armor than they did. But it's fine.
No.
That does 16 Jesus, okay. 16 damage to this one harpy. You see that she practically almost clips through one of its wings. Um I don't believe she has any bonus actions, so it'll be this goblin's turn. Gonna do the unfortunate the mistake of trying to attack Goliath with the scimitar. That's an 18, that does hit, and it's 5 slashing to her. Um, Gonna move on to this boyo. Uh, he is going to. You see him hold up a hand as it catches, as it starts something on his chest. Like you just see a faint glow, and he casts Bless. He targets you, the Goliath, and the girl. You are now blessed, and that's gonna be his turn. Blessed and blessed. You're up.
Yeah. I'm going to move my cat up one,
Can't.
like that, and then over.
Okay.
This thing's incapacitated.
Yep.
And then I'm going to
You're
try to.
considered. Yep. You're considered flanking with the Goliath, by the way.
Yeah, I have to do my turn first, anyways.
Yep.
I'm gonna walk up to here. I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Mans.
Okay. Man's
So
being
he,
girl or
no, Mans.
man's here?
He gets 6 healing. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the girl, the Goliath, me and
Right.
my son all get 3 healing.
Okay. Okay.
And then I'm gonna attack the goblin right above me with Primal Savagery. Is he flanked
Go for it.
or is he? What are we considering him? Or is this just normal?
Just normal. Yep.
Okay. 25 for 8.
That hits and yep.
So I just kind
Damn.
of conjure like a big acid claw over my hand and then slash him. Just
You slash.
corrode him.
Yeah. Your acid claws just go straight through him, and he is out.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna do this thing with the cat.
Point.
Attack the harpy. Um, this is you said flanking, so +2,
Yep.
and then also I have pack tactics.
All right.
Yeah. So there's 2 allies within 5 feet of it that aren't incapacitated. So this is +2 to not the crit.
Yep. Okay. Go for it. Roll that. Okay. Oh,
Yep,
that's just all mag
13.
rolls. Okay.
Y-
Okay. Between this panther and the Goliath, you two are doing quick work of this one harpy.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit and move the cat back here.
Okay. The harpy gets attack of opportunity. Just let me
Yeah.
reduce its damage. It's what's it called? It's HP quick. Okay, I want to make sure. Da, 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 da. It's gonna attack at you with. That's a not one. Okay, it doesn't.
And actually, and then I actually want to move down here is where I wanted to have moved.
Okay. Your turn.
Oh no, I can go here. I
Okay.
was trying to remember if something worked. B. Now it's the end of my turn.
Okay. This goblin's dead. This goblin's incapacitated, and I believe.
Has to move closer to the harpy. Has to try to
Yeah.
get within 5 feet of it.
To hop on these roots, and that's as close as it can get. And I believe it gets
I get an
a
attack
repeated.
of opportunity.
That is true. Go for it. And so does this boy.
That's the wrong button.
That
24%.
hits. That's enough to just take it out. You bonk it. No, well, it's not. It's not the club. It's the claws. Just fucking rip into it again.
Yeah.
And this goblin
Whenever
is
it's
dead and
effective,
out.
it'd be like over here.
There you go. That goblin is dead. This goblin is dead. This harpy's turn. Um, it is going to try and maul once more at the girl, despite it being on its last legs. Harpy. Gonna attack once with its claws and once with the club. That is a 15 and 18. Both those hit. She takes 10 damage and she is not looking all that good.
Oh no.
Oh no. It is
And
her turn. It is her turn. She is going to cast Firebolt. Well, yep. No, she has a dagger. She's gonna try and stab at this harpy.
so it's also a little close for fireball.
Yeah. Firebolt, please. Um
Sorry. Good.
that hits and that is going to be 4 damage. Not a lot. Actually, that's 4 plus 2. That's 6 damage. And this harpy's practically on its last legs.
And no.
The other harp Yep. The other harpy's turn is going to, seeing as it's taken out 2 goblins so far, it's gonna go for your beast, your plant panther. Gonna swoop down and is going to swipe and bonk.
Wife gets it.
Okay, and is gonna do 6 damage with its claws.
Oh no.
That's gonna be the harpy's turn. The Goliath. I forgot. Uh, it's fine. It's fine. She is going to. I close our character sheet. God damn it. Is going to just finish off this harpy with her greatsword. That's a 17, and the damage doesn't really matter. But she practically finishes cleaving off that one wing, and also manages to just kind of decapitate it in that one strike. This harpy is dead and out. and she is going to move here, kind of into putting herself. Oh, how the fuck? Putting herself in between the goblin and the girl.
Alright.
The goblin's gonna try and attack this Goliath. That hits for 5. Uh, this boy is going to um. You see him run up frantically to this girl, and he puts a hand on her shoulder and casts Cure Wounds, which procs your unicorn. What was it?
No, only when I do it.
Oh, one with you. Okay, never mind then.
Unicorn Spirit, whenever I cast a spell that causes healing using a spell slot, I get I apply healing to everybody in the circle.
Gotcha. Okay. Either way, he gives this girl 4 points of healing. Still not looking great, but not looking all that bad. You're up.
Yeah. Use my bonus action to heal her. For 7, and then everybody else for 3.
Okay.
Is the plants on my panther regenerate themselves?
Hell yeah.
Also, if you want to, just so you know how to set it up, um,
Oh, I do have that.
on
I have
my
that up.
yeah, well, the health bars you can also set it so you can't see the numbers, but then have it displayed so that everybody can see them.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's fine.
yeah, and then I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is 30, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm basically I just went up,
All right.
and then I'm going to primal savagery this harpy,
Go for it.
this damn crone.
That hits.
25 for 1,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna get my cat to run around to the other side of them. Can't really do the same thing with the cat, but I can do advantage maul, and then yeah, I'm assuming a 23
That
hits.
does hit. Yep. Does 10.
Yeah. Wombo combo.
I'm guessing that's your turn. That one's dead. That one's dead. That one's also dead. That harpy is also dead. This girl's turn. She is going to cast. Um, where is it? There it is. She is going to cast Burning Hands. A bit overkill for this one goblin, but you know, need dex save. There's also a dance over here first. Dex save. That's a 9. That fails. Rolled damage. God damn it. And that's gonna be 3d6. And this goblin is just charred.
What did you say she cast?
Burning Hands.
No, I don't know why. I thought you said something else.
What do you think I said?
I thought you said firebolt for some reason, and I was just like 3d6. What?
3d6, yes.
It's like it's
Um,
d10s.
Yeah, she's gonna stay here, and then it's the Harpy's turn. She is gonna try and strike at you.
No.
Nuh-uh. That's a
No.
5. And a 920.
Well, no.
That's 9 damage.
No. Didn't happen.
The Goliath's turn. You feel heavy footsteps as she just runs up, sword drawn. Uh, you see her raise her sword, and as she does, um, she brings it down, and that is a 16. As she brings it up, you just see seemingly a lightning strike as she is smiting this thing with a first level spell slot for a
Roll.
total of 21
Hold on.
damage. Yep.
Alright.
I thought you said let me. I'm like, what? Excuse me?
It's like you couldn't let me have it.
No. Dead. This man's turn. He is going to sacred flame uh this harpy from a distance. Yeah, great. I didn't actually expect her to fail that. I'm not gonna lie. Just on death's door. As long as you don't
Yeah.
miss.
Something tells me I'm not gonna miss.
Okay.
Before I do any of that, though, last first level spell slot, cast healing word on myself for 8. I told you nuh and then everybody else gets 3 healing again. My cat now looks like it never got smacked. And then primal savagery this lady in the face. I'm flanking now.
Yep. Yep. And
27.
that's enough. Yep. Okay, yeah. I just realized I was never counting a bless for either the girl nor the Goliath, but it's fine.
I think any of them needed
And
it.
yep. And that harpy is dead.
Yes, I killed everything but one goblin. Get wrecked.
As this get wrecked, yes. As this last harpy goes down, we exit initiative. And uh this Goliath next to you is you can tell that she's full of silent rage. um Not at you, but she's very clearly seething.
I mean, we tried to tell them.
She turns around and says, "What did I tell you both?" And these two just kind of flinch back. Um, and she just says, "Fey crossings are not something to be messed with." And and she just kind of drops her sword.
That would
I
have been quite a pickle if I hadn't showed up.
Yes, and I thank you.
No, not
You could
you.
just
I'm trying to tell them how stupid they are.
they are I'd say forgive them, preferring them employed by their father, not them. And you can tell that these two are just kind of even the girl has like a guilt expression on her face, and these two are just kind of sulking in their wounded pride. The Goliath lady, just kind of kicks the harpy over. Let's just leave this cursed place, set up camp, and as you look up, you do see that the sky seems to be slowly darkening. Um, not your normal night sky. It does seem to be a bit a tinge of purple, but um, Fey effects, you know. Um, as the girl silently stews, you do hear the boy pipe up and say, uh, wait, and the Goliath just kind of sneers at him, and he kind of flinches for a moment before turning his attention up to the tree, and he kind of pats his this woman on the arm, and he points up at the tree. And you don't exactly see what he's pointing to, but the girl looks down at the guy and looks back up at the tree, and she shoots out a fireball. And as she does, something falls from the tree, and you see a small, where's the words? Where is it? Where be?
He does this?
He's kind of gesturing, yeah. He's just kind of like shooting at a branch, like not like straight into the tree, but like a small branch just kind of poking out from the leaves. Right.
Right.
Give me 1 second. As she shoots it, you see a small little almost gold golden shell fall. And you kind of take this moment to look up, and you do see that everything that's kind of hanging from the tree, I described before a golden lyre, a a doll of twine. You see these trinkets just kind of growing from this tree. As you're under it, you see a lot more. You see a few wind chimes. You see a trumpet. Just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff. Not hanging, just growing from the branches of this tree. And the boy takes this golden shell and he walks up to you and he holds it out. Um, for your trouble.
Hmm.
And like this thing is actually like I said small before, but it's like actually a decent size. Like maybe like the size of a plate.
What am I calling this? Golden facial?
Yeah, that'll work.
Alright. I'll pick it up. Like take it and then just be like, "It's time, don't shoot the fucking tree. Nearly gave me a heart attack." I advise, as someone who's been to the Fae, that you two listen to your guardian here and go the fuck home.
Yes. Uh, we shall return soon. And you hear behind you the Goliath lady just kind of let out a low grumble, almost growl. Tomorrow, first thing. Yes, yes. And the girl is just silently stewing as this whole conversation goes about. Let's. And the Goliath puts her hand on your shoulder. Let's just. You know where the road is.
Is that a question to me?
Yep.
I think it's that way. Points in a rough direction of the road.
uh,
I actually came from where the fuck is the map? Kyrin. I was walking this way from Winter's Reach, so it should be that way. Yeah.
uh, where are you headed exactly? If you don't mind me asking.
And it's no grasp.
You kind of see for the first time in this conversation, like in the first time you've known, like in a few short minutes you've known these people. Um, her face kind of shifts into something more than just annoyance or frustration, and she says, "Oh, we're actually headed that direction too."
Hmm. I'm assuming that means you want to come with me.
She looks at the two who are just despite being fully healed up, they are still licking their wounds, and she kind of pulls you into like a small huddle, and she just says, "If I'm left alone with them, some bones are gonna be broken, and they're not gonna be mine."
I didn't think it would be. All right. Fine. But I got a delivery to make, so I'm gonna cover some more ground tonight.
She pulls away from the huddle and says, we're gonna keep marching northwards." And you kind of hear both of them start to protest, and she just pipes up and says, "Consider this thanks for him saving our skins." And uh, their tantrum just kind of dies down, and they lower their heads. And
Plus,
with
do you really want to stay at the base of the tree? The things that were trying to kill you came out of.
you just hear the girl just kind of mock you, like, "No, no, 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 no." Just pick up her pack, pull up her hood.
You know, my cat could just kill you while you're sleeping. I'm joking, but it's true.
Uh, you see her just kind of glare at you. Um, she's not like staring at you defiantly, just kind of annoyed. You just hear the boy say, "Yeah, yes, thank you. We'll continue marching another 10 minutes." Just kind of reading your expression. An hour to how long are we continuing?
Enough.
Right, of course. Yep. Well, let's get going. And he kind of like he hooks his arm around the human girl, and she kind of like pulls her arm back, and he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's get going."
Yeah, that's what I thought. Before we walk off, I am going to cast Healing Spirit. Technically, my time-wise, my totem would still be up.
What?
Um, I'll just use the healing spirit with the totem to heal everybody up.
This sounds good.
You feel better
Um,
now? More agreeable.
yeah, I suppose. And she pulls her hood a bit over her face, like a brooding teen, as if she wasn't in her 20s.
Are Goliaths common?
Um, you know that they're more common the closer you get north. So around these parts, somewhat, yeah.
Well, I go pick up my stuff and then keep walking for another, I'll say 30 minutes.
Oh, okay. Um,
Or how far away from the road would I be?
I'm gonna pull you back to the map. So you were traversing. Yep, okay. You're going this way, correct?
Yeah, like that.
Yep. I'll say you're about 2 days out.
Okay. Yeah, I think go for like 30 minutes to an hour before you stop.
Alright. As you stop and as you stop, you realize that these two just kind of the two they're siblings. They just kind of sit down and the Goliath who introduced herself to you as Laukai Stormguard. She lets out a huff and just kind of begins to set up 2 tents. As the other two who you learned are siblings, Erica and what was his name? Erica and I forgot his name. Fuck. One sec. Erica and Envir. Um, just kind of sit around. Um,
Can you post
they've
those
been
names?
okay. Um, Laukai Stormguard is the Goliath.
I was so close.
Erica and Envir. They don't give you a last name, but yeah. Uh, Laukai just sets up 2 tents. As soon as the first is set up, Erica just goes in, does not say anything, and Enver just you can tell that this is a routine that they have of Erica just kind of getting a bit bitchy, and Enver just being the one to apologize for his sister's misdeeds.
Yeah.
Uh, Eventually, he joins her in her tent, and that just kind of leaves you and Laukai um around this little fire that you've set up for yourselves. Do you
Mm.
exchange any words? Or you just kind of sit there quietly.
I think right now he's just sitting eating.
Fair enough. Uh, I think she just does the same. She doesn't actually, outside of apologizing for her young, what's it called? Charge. Charges? Charge. Whatever. Um, she just seems a bit worn. You can tell that they've been out here for a while, and she's just kind of sick and tired of these two. And they're I guess more so of Erica's attitude and Vera's curiosity that almost got them killed today.
Yeah.
So if you guys are not conversing at all, then we will skip forward to the next morning. Um, the night goes out without a hitch. Eventually, as the two siblings wake up, Laokai quickly picks up the tents, and you guys set off. The rest of the 2 days to this road go off without a hitch. There's no much issue. Just a lot of complaining on behalf of the siblings who they, for example, at one point Enver steps in some mud. He complains about that. Erica says that the weather's getting too cold. This kind of what you've gathered Lago has been dealing with for the past few days. But despite the unpleasant company, you guys eventually managed to make your way to Snowgrass without issue. As you cross the gates, Erica and Envir just peel off Laokai, following close behind them without really saying a word.
Alright. I guess I find inns in
Means,
whoever I have delivery for.
all right, you drop off this delivery. Do you give the message?
Sure.
Um, did I give it? I forgot. Did I give this man a raise?
I don't know.
Uh,
All I know about them is go tell person that he owes me 10 gold.
fair enough. As you walk into this tavern, you just see we'll say a halfling man with uh a bald halfling man with a gray beard. Uh, and he just laughs. Uh, and as he laughs, like the humor slowly leaves his voice, and you just hear him say "fucker," and he gives you a 10 gold and thanks you for your time and the mead.
Alright. Alright. And then I guess I go on my way to Silverville.
Are you heading uh on the road or are you cutting
Yeah,
through the forest again?
you'll take the road.
As you actually as you're leaving Snowgrasp, you actually hear heavy footfall behind you, and you see Laokai, now without the siblings, and looking infinitely happier. Not skipping, but throughout your short journey with her and the siblings, you notice that she might as well be. um,
Yeah.
um,
As
and she says
noticeably happier as very possible.
exactly. Um, and she kind of she calls out to you, and she says, "Would you have given your last name or just your first?"
Just the first.
She just says, Erebus, uh, wait up.
I'm sure you can catch up to me with my short legs. Sorry, bad humor. My dad's a dwarf.
She kind of gives like a surprised look. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't wondering what the other half was. Uh,
Lies.
I see it.
Weird body proportions. I get I get the looks a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Listen, I wanted to thank you again for helping me deal with more so with the twins than with the harpies, honestly.
Yeah,
You
that's fair.
uh given your and she kind of like gestures over you. I'm guessing you're more fond of the wilds than you are, as he kind of gestures back to Snowgrasp. However, I did get paid a bit extra for making sure the twins didn't die. So I was wondering if you care to. I am also traveling to Silvervale to meet up with some acquaintances. If you wanted to, I could get a carriage, and you'd be more than happy. You'd be more than welcome to tag along. No cost. Just consider another thank you. Uh, thank you saved me from both the harpies and doing time for murdering the children of a noble.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I guess I'll come with you.
Excellent. Then let me just get the cart, and I'll let you know. And after a while, she returns with a cart with two horses. Um, Actually, she returns. Yeah, a cart with two horses and a driver. Basically a cab. Um, she offers you a hand up.
I'll climb up.
Yep. And you begin making your way to Snowgrasp. Um, it is a. Let's see. That's. What do
Oh, and she's even gonna get to cut expenses on food because
you-
good berry.
Good berry. It is a 20-day trip to Snowgrasp. Silvervale. On cart. As you as you leave the region of Avalon, the cold slow ever so slightly leaves you, and the journey is actually rather pleasant. There's not much going on. You come across a few adventurers, a few farmers who are just kind of passing through. Eventually, when you reach the river, you see a ferry beginning to pull away from a small outpost. Um, you actually see amongst the people dealing with the ferry a tall, fair-skinned man with seemingly chromatic hair. He just kind of catches your eye. Oh,
Is
what
that
was that?
friendly?
Okay. Um, he just kind of catches your eye. But that's about it. Um, as you go, uh, you'd learn that Laokai is basically a sword for hire. Um, she explains that while she had been working with the father of the twins, um, he had been more and more leaving them under her watch, and that's not the first time that they've gone into trouble because of their curiosities.
Mm.
And she basically explains that the reason she's going to Silvervale is kind of find new work.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Like, I don't know if I'd want to do that too. I'm I'm just delivering booze. A lot of booze.
Ale?
Mead.
Hmm.
Rose thorn. I don't I don't know if you've heard of it.
Let's see. Woodlow, I have heard of Rosethorn. That's a no. Jesus. Uh, uh, quite frankly, I'm not a fan of mead.
Yeah, yeah. It's not everybody's drink. It was it's the brewery my father started. I assume someone of your talents be more likely to know who my mother is.
Who's your mother?
Oh, a nobody, just love whole sky carver.
You kind of see a flash of recognition come across her face. Sky cover.
Yep.
The name does sound vaguely familiar. Where'd you say you were from again?
Uh, basically Wilder Dusk. That'd be the only closest thing you'd know.
He kind of thinks for a moment. No, that's not it. Hmm. I'll remember if I remember.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes.
So, are you just gonna complete this little delivery and then go on sauntering home?
Oh no, I'm going to take as long getting home as possible. Much to my mother's dismay.
Going against the grain, I see.
No, she just really wants me safe. I just want to fucking do something.
Well, there's something I've seen in my days as a what's it called? As a guard. Well, I guess more so a mercenary. Uh, Parents tend to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad, he's usually the one trying to get me out. I think he understands the wanderlust a bit more, but I think she's also seen enough to be more scared of things than he has.
So she speaks from experience.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And she kind of shrugs. Well, if you ask me, a humble nobody who was stuck taking care of two grown two grown children, I think you can handle yourself quite well.
Oh, she knows that. Yep. It's gonna be fun when I get home. More training for me.
Well, don't sound too excited.
Yeah, it's not just combat training.
Dare
I'm
I
supposed
ask?
to become the next leader of the village.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about it.
No, yeah, fuck if I know. And she pulls out her wires and just kind of takes a drink.
You,
Well, for what it's worth, uh, I guess you got something to go back to? And she just shrugs.
yeah, yeah, that's nice. I'm trying to find something to look forward to.
I'm sure if you don't find it, it'll find you.
Oh, probably. I have a knack for wandering into places I'm not supposed to be.
Hmm. Like the twins then.
Uh, I walked into the Feywild a number of times by accident.
Well, now I'm starting to see your mother's concern.
I always made it back.
I'm guessing she's worried about the times you wouldn't.
Yep.
Understandable.
I don't really know how to continue this conversation.
That's good. That's all good. Um, eventually, I imagine most of your days go on without much conversation, to be honest. Um, but eventually, after this 20-day travel to Silvervale, you do reach the city gates and you see a lot of hustle and bustle. There was a lot of movement within Snowgrass being with it being a pretty large city. But you do recognize Silvervale as more of a trade outpost almost. So you see carts going in and out of the gates. You see a lot of merchants having their setting their stalls up on the streets. Vendors shouting offers and discounts from their stalls. And generally there's a lot of hubbub as you go. You eventually reach one of the stables, where Laokaya pays your guys' I guess tab for the cab, and
Fair.
then she just kind of goes up to you. So, where you headed?
Find an inn, talk to somebody named Poppy, and then after that, I'm not really sure.
Well, fair enough. I think I might know where that is. Come on. And you just kind of see her. I'd say you lose her in the crowd, but it's kind of hard to lose a Goliath. Um,
And I'm not exactly small myself.
yep. Um, so you kind of you follow her through the streets, through the crowd, and eventually you come across this fairly quaint inn tavern, I guess. Um, as you head inside, you kind of just feel warmth. You are kind of in this in-between region of Avalon and Daxton, so it is a bit chilly. Not as cold, obviously, as Snowgrass, but it is rather fresh. As you walk in, yep, you notice that it is a lot bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And the the environment is just generally warm. Not just literally, but also metaphorically. You see a lot of friendly faces. You see that it is pretty calm, all things considered. Sure, there's people, but there's not a lot of hubbub. There's not a lot of shouting. In fact, everyone's just kind of seems to be getting along rather well. Just a
Okay.
quaint.
Yeah. Peaceful.
Yeah. And at the bar, behind the bar, I guess I should say, you see an a old looking, but probably not that old, turtle. Um, she has a apron over her back, and you used to see her kind of going to and from patrons on one side of the bar to another, and she seems to be having a conversation with all of them in a way that you gather that she's keeping up both conversations just effortlessly. Like she is able to keep both sides of this conversation going without seeming distracted and actually being able to contribute to the conversations at hand.
Yeah.
And Laokai says, "I believe that's who you're looking for."
Thank you.
No problem.
Guess I
I'm
better go introduce myself.
Yep. And I think this is where I take my leave. I have someone I have to meet.
Yep. I guess see you around if I ever see you.
And so let's pat you at the back and head out.
And then go try to get Poppy's attention.
Um, as you approach, you manage to catch snippets of the conversations going on. You hear Poppy say, oh, and congratulations on the new house. I'm glad to hear that, I'm glad to hear that Margaret's doing well, and I can't wait to see you both around more. And you hear, this older looking, a this older looking owl and just a tawny owl. Uh, yes, thank you kindly. And I look forward to seeing more of you too. I'll be sure to bring Margaret around, and hopefully you guys can catch up like old times. You see this owl and stand up, straighten out his cloak, and head off. And as Poppy, who you now know, kind of follows him, her line of sight just kind of follows, and she ends up looking at you. And says, "Oh, I'm sorry. How can I help you?"
I believe I have a delivery for you and a message from one good old Malrum.
Oh, Malroom. Yes, what might that be?
He just wanted me to say hi to you, to see how you were doing. I'm Erebus, his son.
You see, yeah, you see her face kind of go through the notions of trying to remember, and then her eyes kind of go wide, and she says, "Oh, you're Erebus. Oh, and she kind of she wipes her hands on her apron, and he says, "Oh, it's so good to finally meet you, and not meet you. It's so good to see you again." And she, without really asking, just kind of holds the sides of her face and says, "My, look how you've grown."
Yeah, yeah, pretty big for a dwarf.
Oh, I remember when you just got up to here, and you can see like she reaches down somewhere, but like it's over the counter, so you can't actually see like to what height.
Pull that final barrel, keg, whatever it is, and set it on their counter.
Oh, right, right. She'll take the barrel and kind of pull it over the counter. Thank you. Are you heading off, or can I offer you something to eat? A room?
I'll be here for now. Uh, After this, I'm just kind of gonna wander my way until I end up somewhere.
Fair enough. Can I offer you something to eat? A room?
Sure.
um, you hear a call out to one of the waiters, helping her around. And eventually, after a few minutes, they get you set up with a nice dinner, basically. We'll say that it is what would be a nice like large rack of ribs with a few smoked veggies. Um, and she'll get you set up with a room. We won't count these next 2 nights. She'll kind of instead of giving you the gold, she'll give you the room and the food. Um, so you're just gonna kind of wander then.
Yep. Until I find something that strikes my fancy.
Well, if I might, well, anything that strikes your fancy. So that meaning you don't have a goal in mind?
Delay going home.
uh, Understandable. Um, well, if you're looking for something to do, I'm sure the Adventurers Guild has some jobs. They might not be the best, but maybe something might catch your eye. There's obviously we're obviously on the outskirts. Well, not so much the outskirts. A few days away of from the Merry Woods. Uh, I remember your father telling me that you used to enjoy wandering. Uh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine how easy. I can't imagine that would have been easy for your father, given his sense of direction. But
He wasn't usually the one to find me.
right, right. What was her name? And she was kind of thinks for a moment. Where is it?
Goof off.
Love Holland. Right. I'm guessing she was the one who your mother was often the one who went to find you.
Oh, he went too, but she was just usually the one to find me.
Fair enough. Um, but yeah, I suppose the two that might catch your interest are the Merry Woods and perhaps the Adventurers Guild. At least one of those will give you some gold to hopefully uh, buy into you having to hopefully give you some more gold to be able to delay your return home even more.
I'll probably take a look.
Well, do know that you will have a room here for as long as you stay, and I'm sure you'll find something interesting.
Probably.
Alright. I'm guessing you finish up your dinner. I'm gonna say it's around like evening-ish, like maybe 5, 6, if you want to do anything.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I, I'd be struggling.
That's fair. Okay, so we'll just wrap this up quick. Um, before you head to bed, you kind of you do stop by the bulletin board the of a relatively small building, and you read that this is the one of the offices for the Adventurers Guild, a bureau of sorts. And outside on this bulletin board, you do see a series of quests, which range from fetch quests, monster hunting, resource gathering, so on and so forth, even escorts missions. And one of these actually catches your eye, mainly because it also involves the other point of interest that Poppy had mentioned, that being the Merry Woods. You see that um the details will be given later, but basically a local botanist um requires some help with exterminating something within her on her property basically. You can see that um the rendezvous is set for like let's say a week out. So you have so I'm guessing Erebus will keep himself busy for a week until not a week out, 2 weeks out. And on the back of this flyer, there is actually a map. There's actually multiple flyers on this one tack, so you can tell that multiple people can get one flyer, a copy of the same flyer. And on the back of all of them is this map, which basically depicts depicts this section of the map and oh, a small little dot here.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm guessing Erebus takes one of these flyers.
Yes.
All right, and as you take this flyer, you kind of continue your way through Silvervale, and you end up having 2 weeks, a week, let's say. to yourself before you have to take the week's travel to the rendezvous for this one quest. And that is what we'll close up for this session 0. Uh, you've left home. You left your home within in the session. Yes, you've left your home within the Mirror's Forest to complete a shipment for your dad. Um, he left you in charge of 4 barrels of meat, one for Runesguard, one for Winter's Reach, one for Snowgrasp, and the final one for Silvervale. Between Winter's Reach and Snowgrasp, you encountered a Goliath and 2 humans, of the which you helped them defeat a few harpies and a few goblins, and accompanied them to Snowgrasp before heading out with the Goliath, who you learned was named Laukai, and headed up to Silvervale. Here you turned in your final barrel of meat before staying for a few days, taking up a quest and preparing yourself to head out to the rendezvous. And that is where we'll end session 0.